Here, you can be your best. The best train here. Learn here. Succeed here. Perform here. Win here. Thrive here. Itawamba Community College. The best start here.
Student involvement is a top priority here at Itawamba Community College.
If you want to be involved with student government, then the Student Government Association is the place for you.
If you have a stellar GPA, then Phi Theta Kappa is for you.
If you're interested in the diverse culture of our campus population, then the Diversity Club is for you.
If you're interested in leadership and service, then Indian Delegation is for you.
If you're majoring in computer programming or computer networking, then CPNA, the Computer Programming Networking Association, is for you.
If you're interested in good conversations and free lunch on Thursdays, then the Wesley Foundation is for you.
Our health science programs also have specific organizations for those majors.
Student Activities is excited to bring you new opportunities here at the ICC Tupelo campus.
Whatever your passion may be, we have a place for you.
This video is brought to you by Phi Theta Kappa, Beta Chi Sigma, Tupelo campus.
Everyone has a unique story to tell. Maybe your story has you performing your new song in front of a crowd, getting to play your favorite sport, or enjoying a horseback ride in the country. At Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, our group of skilled surgeons understand your need to continue your story. That is why we are the preferred choice for orthopedic care. Thank you for choosing us. Our story is you. Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi.
Ever since you got that license, you haven't stopped moving forward. Now that you're older and on the move, you need a safer place to keep your money. We get it. A student checking account frees you up with things like mobile check deposit to take care of that check from grandma without having to stop at a bank. Pay with your phone when you're out with friends. And stop worrying about ATM fees. We'll pay you back for those. Worry about your future, not your money. And know that we'll stick with you, wherever you go. Renaissance Bank, understanding you. Member FDIC.
And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, as we're getting set for the third and final game of the afternoon here for the King City Classic. That'll be Tupelo versus Tuscaloosa. And the opening pitch is going to be lifted to right field. Right fielder's going back into the shade and collects it for an out. Your first pitch of the evening coming your way at 7:19. So we're getting a pretty good little early start here to the contest, as that was Glenn, the right fielder, flying out to that position there. Let's go ahead and give you tonight's lineup here for Tuscaloosa. Oh, he missed it. Okay, never mind then. I went ahead and assumed that was an out, so it was not. So that will go as an error on the play. Shout out to Summer for helping me out with that. Now they're going to lay down the bunt. Going to try to turn two here. There's one. Do they get two? No, they do not. And so that will erase the runner that reached on the error. So they'll turn it into a fielder's choice on the play. And that will put Clark at first base. All right, now let's take a look at today's lineup being brought to you by Coca-Cola. Oh, never mind. There I go again. I'm going back into my ICC play-by-play. Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at today's starting lineup, and we'll start with Tuscaloosa. Glenn led things off. He's playing in right field. Clark was the catcher. He had that sacrifice bunt that turned into a fielder's choice. As there's a swing and a miss. At the plate now is Copen. He's playing over at first base. He's actually pitching today. Aaron will be at first base. Yeatman will be the third baseman. Napier will be at shortstop. Glasgow will be in left field. Second baseman will be Livingston, and Pate will be the center fielder. So there is one out. Runner at first base. Pop up to the right side. It's going to get in foul territory and get out of play, and that'll go for a strike. Your lineup for the 49ers will look like this. It's going to be Connor Davis playing shortstop. Max Scruggs will be in center field. Marshall Hall will be the second baseman. Zach Gann, he'll be the DH. Caleb Goddard will be at third base. Gabe Harwood will be the catcher. Armistead will be at first base. Carlock will be in left field, and Stone will be in right field. And then McCoy is getting the start here for the 49ers in this contest. This is pool play. Sunday's play will be both here and at Northeast for the tournament portion of the King City Classic. Beautiful curveball, got him looking at strike three. Second out of the inning. And a wicked curve that time. Great location on that pitch. Froze the batter, got him looking for out number two. And now this is going to be Aaron, the first baseman, coming to the plate. This game originally scheduled for 7:30. The game before that one, it was a run rule game, as there's a swing and a miss for a strike. So we had about an hour and 15-minute gap, and Tuscaloosa got here, got warmed up, said, hey, we're ready to play, let's go. So getting an early start to the contest tonight. 2 outs, runner over at first base. Another healthy swing and a miss there. Not a very big crowd, but they're slowly filing in. Oh-2 pitch coming. That one fouled back off the mask of the home plate umpire. And so we'll stay at 0-2. Runner at first, 2 outs. This one fouled back, held on to by the catcher, and that'll do it. Quick inning there, despite the error to start the inning. Nice comeback there by McCoy to get out of the inning with no damage done. No runs, no hits, 1 error, and 1 left on base. We're going to step away and come back with the bottom half of the first inning. Due up for Tupelo, Davis, Scruggs, and Marshall. Back with more right after this.
Ever since you got that license, you haven't stopped moving forward. Now that you're older and on the move, you need a safer place to keep your money. We get it. A student checking account frees you up with things like mobile check deposit to take care of that check from grandma without having to stop at a bank. Pay with your phone when you're out with friends. And stop worrying about ATM fees. We'll pay you back for those. Worry about your future, not your money. And know that we'll stick with you wherever you go. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you. Member FDIC.
Everyone has a unique story to tell. Maybe your story has you performing your new song in front of a crowd, getting to play your favorite sport, or enjoying a horseback ride in the country. At Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, our group of skilled surgeons understand your need to continue your story. That is why we are the preferred choice for orthopedic care. Thank you for choosing us. Our story is you. Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi.
Here, you can be your best. The best train here. Learn here. Succeed here. Perform here. Win here. Thrive here. Itawamba Community College. The best start here.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we get set here for the bottom of the first inning. Scoreless here between Tupelo and Tuscaloosa. Due up for the 49ers, Connor Davis, the shortstop, Max Scruggs, the center fielder, and Alex Marshall, who is playing at second base. That'll be due up here in the bottom of the first. For Tuscaloosa, it was an error out in right field. I thought it was caught, but that's what happens when you assume. So it was an error out in right field, followed by a sacrifice bunt, then back-to-back strikeouts to get out of the inning with no damage done there. So had a little bit of a extended between inning here. The pitcher, I believe, may still have had his watch on whenever he came out to warm up, so the umpire made him take that off and had to run it back to the dugout and went to wipe off the plate, and it's still wet. So he has got a brush that's got tons of paint on it right now in his hand as well. So this is going to be Connor Davis starting things off here for the 49ers, wearing their traditional pinstripes tonight. Sun setting here in Tupelo, so we're going to be dealing with that a little bit. That's going to be a hit. It's going to get past the diving second baseman. So that's going to be a leadoff single there for Davis. And a nice start to the contest there for the 49ers. So went with the first pitch he saw, much like Glenn did for Tuscaloosa. And now this is going to bring up Scruggs. Scruggs playing in center field. Davis over at first base. Not a very big lead. We'll see if they pay much attention to him. They do not. Delivers the pitch high for a ball. 1-0 is the count here to Scruggs. Tupelo scheduled to play tomorrow at 5. So there'll be a trio of games going on here. Breaking pitch hangs up high for a ball. And then, as we said, I believe the senior portion of the game switched to Northeast on Sunday, and the junior portion of the games will come over here to Tupelo. So 2-0 is the count. This one, jam job, popped it up. Second baseman's going to have to rush over. Don't know if he's going to be able to find it. He's not. So now Davis is going to have to hustle to second, and the ball just took a 49er bounce away from both the right fielder and the second baseman that time. So that's going to go for a base hit. Great effort, though, on the part of the second baseman. Livingston just couldn't quite get to it in time. And so now the 49ers off to a pretty good start here. Runners on first and second with no outs. And now this is going to be Alex Marshall at the plate. So Tupelo looking to strike early here in the nightcap against Tuscaloosa. Marshall will dig in. Takes a look at that pitch high for a ball. This is Copen on the mound here for Tuscaloosa. Don't know their mascot. Post 34 is what they go by. As that pitch high for ball 2. 2-0 now is the count. No outs. Runners on first and second here for the Niners. Marshall at the plate. Looks at that pitch, misses low. Catcher tried to frame that one that time. The umpire wasn't having anything to do with it. Now 3-0 is the count. And that pitch taking the whole way on a 3-0 count in there for a strike. 3-1 now goes the count here against Marshall. So Marshall stands in, pitch coming, sees this one, pops it straight up in the air. Catcher can't find it, now locates it, goes over and juggles it around and makes the play. Nearly dropped it that time. Pitcher had called him off, and then he came back and took over the play and made it in foul territory for out number 1. So 1 out now, and this is going to be the DH, Zach Gann, coming to the plate. Runners on first and second, no score here in the bottom of the first between Tupelo and Tuscaloosa here in the King City Classic. That pitch just a bit outside for a ball. Good job by the catcher that time, Clark, going back behind the batter to catch it. If that one gets away, runners advance with ease. So 1-0 is the count here to Gann. And that pitch, borderline pitch, not going the way of Tuscaloosa that time. Said it was a little high and inside for a ball. 2-0 now is the count here to Gann. So Gann trying to get something going here. Nice pitch on the inside, center fielder, right to the center fielder as he jogs over and makes a play for out number 2. Good job by Copen to come in, settle down, and record back-to-back outs after giving up back-to-back singles to start the inning. And now this is going to be Goddard, Caleb Goddard, coming to the plate here. He is playing third base. So looking for a 2-out hit here. very almost eerily quiet ballpark this evening, as that pitch missing low and outside for a ball. Not the typical large crowd that we're accustomed to seeing here, but I'll say this, for everybody that's been cooped up inside for the last few months, if you haven't been outside much, these last few days haven't been ideal for you. Temperatures, if not creeping into approaching the 90s, that Mississippi humidity, not much of a breeze, and when it is a breeze, it's like opening the oven. Runners go on that pitch, and a good one to go on as the ball got away, and runners will advance with ease. So now with a 3-0 count to Goddard, he's got both runners in scoring position here. Plenty of speed over at third base. And the payoff pitch goes for a ball. First walk of the game. And now this is going to bring up Harwood to the plate. He will dig in with a really good opportunity here as he's catching in this one, so he can help out his battery mate with a big-time clutch hit here. 2 outs, bases for the 49ers. We're in the bottom of the first inning. Scoreless so far, and Tuscaloosa trying to find an exit here to see if they can keep it that way. That pitch missing outside for a ball. Well, Copen did a good job settling down, but after I jinxed him by saying that, walked one and still has thrown 5 straight pitches, failing to find the strike zone. And that one clips the corner for a strike. 1-1 now is the count. Gabe Harwood and then Will Armistead on deck here for the Niners. That pitch, breaking pitch that nearly hit him, just hung up a little bit too much for the umpire's liking that time, and Harwood thought that one might have broke a little bit more than he thought it did, and might have went for a strike, but it did not. 2-1 now is the count. Ball low, 3-1 is the count. We appreciate everyone tuning in here. Been a minute since we had a chance to do a 49ers game. They were on the road for a couple of weeks. We're scheduled to do a game last weekend, but Mother Nature, well, she kind of had other ideas. Is this a fly ball to center field? Center fielder's going to jog back, stop, then go back a little bit more, and now squeezes it for the out. Good job that time by Copen to find a way out of the inning with no damage done. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 3 left on base. We're going to step away and be back with more right after this. And welcome back to action now as we shift to the top of the second inning. Still scoreless here between Tuscaloosa and Tupelo. It'll be the 5, 6, 7 batters due up here for post 34. Yetman, Napier, and Glasgow all due up. McCoy is on the hill. This one popped up. Second baseman walking around, now camps underneath it and squeezes it for out number 1. Well, that's what you like if you're a pitcher. 1 pitch, 1 out. And now this is going to bring up Napier. Napier playing shortstop. As the sun, the clouds been kind to us today. Typically the sun is just beaming down when it is right now, and probably going to break through those clouds here in a minute now that I mentioned that. But after, I guess, talking bad about Mother Nature for the rain last week, she wants to throw us a bone here with the clouds. That pitch right down the middle for a strike. 1-1 now is the count with 1 out. Nobody on here for Tuscaloosa. One pitch there. Beautiful pitch. Finds the outside corner for a strike. 1-2 now is the count. Again, remind you to join us tomorrow at 5 o'clock for 49er baseball here on YouTube. Chase one in the dirt. Got away. Catcher's going to have to hurry. Throws down, and no, in and out of the glove that time. The catcher pointed for him to go to the outside, but they're going to call runner interference. And I think you're going to get a little bit of an argument out of the coach here, and I think he's got a pretty legit argument at that, because it didn't look like he ran out of the dirt or anything to get down the baseline. The throw was a little high. The first baseman was set up on the outside of the bag, had to come back in. So they're going to explain this to the head coach down there. But as of right now, it is an out for runner interference. We'll see if that is overturned here. And judging by just the home plate umpire's demeanor right now in the conversation, it's not going to be overturned. And they're continuing to talk this one over here, and the longer you talk, the more benefit of the doubt you seem to give the opposing team or either team that may not agree with the call. So if you're going to make the call, make it and play ball. And they're going to stick with it. So runner interference is the call. Official put out given to the first baseman for those of you that may be scoring at home. So 3 unassisted. So now that makes 2 outs in the inning, and this is going to be Glasgow coming to the plate. Takes a look at that first pitch at the knees for a strike. Well, McCoy has done a good job filling up the strike zone. He's been aggressive going after the batters, and he's had some solid defensive play, even though they have had 1 error today, as that pitch paints that outside corner again for a strike. Jackson McCoy dealing here for the 49ers. And that time, pitch in the dirt gets away, and I don't know if they're going to have a play on this one. The throw down, is it in time? Yes, it is. What a play there and a nice stretch. Let's take a look at that one on the replay. As the ball in the dirt got him to chase a bad pitch. What a friendly roll back. And a good throw down, nice stretch. And that's out number 3. Record that one, 2-3 on the put out. 3 up, 3 down goes Tuscaloosa. Due up in the bottom half of the inning. Armistead, Carlock, and Stone. We come back with 49er baseball. And welcome back, and I called it, folks. As soon as I started talking about the sun not being out, well, as we get set to start the bottom of the second, there it is, as Will Armistead will start us off here. Still scoreless between Tupelo and Tuscaloosa. Swings on the first pitch he sees, fouls it out of play, going towards the road, and no traffic coming by to worry about hitting anyone. Tupelo with 2 hits so far. Armstead looks at that pitch and just a bit outside. Judging by the first couple innings, or the inning and a half so far, the home plate umpire likes the pitches low and somewhat outside, as Armstead is going to be hit by a pitch. That's what you got to do. You got to pick up on that zone quickly in a ball game and attack that. And as long as the umpire stays consistent, you should start being able to get those calls. And now this is going to be Carlock, the left fielder, coming up here for Tupelo. Tupelo has left 3 runners on the bag, 2 of those in scoring position, as a left base is loaded in the bottom of the first. As that pitch missing outside for a ball. Carlock's first at bat of the game. Stone is on deck. Tupelo a little short-handed here in this tournament, as they've got some guys playing in the state game. We've only got 10 on the roster tonight. That pitch just a bit high and outside. Runner will advance on the wild pitch. Well, that was a curveball they just didn't get on top of that time, and the coach wanting to come out and talk to his guy real quick here. Kind of just settle him down a little bit, as maybe we want to make sure he's okay. That's one of those just awkward pitches you see sometimes that, as someone that's around the game of baseball, or a coach or a baseball player, you tend to worry a little bit. And didn't see a grimace or see him grab an elbow or a shoulder, so he seems to be all right there. So they just want to try to come out and talk to him a little bit and calm him down, and don't seem to be any changes, and there's not, so they're going to stay with Copen here. So the runner did go to second on the wild pitch, and now Carlock has a 2-0 count and a runner in scoring position. Another opportunity here for the Niners to get on the board. So Carlock will dig in. Armistead is at second. Ball missing low. 3-0 now is the count. 3 balls, no strikes, and no outs. That is the situation here for Carlock. He does have a runner at second. Still no score here in the bottom of the second. And that pitch missing low for ball 4. Well, I don't see anybody getting loose for Tuscaloosa. I don't know if their backup guy might be in the field right now. And so now with no outs, runners on first and second, this is going to be Grayson Stone, the right fielder, coming to the plate. Well, Stone had a little bit of a hiccup in his first defensive effort of the game, so you know he would love to help out his team here and put the first run on the board. Swings on this one, fouls it off, strike 1. We'll go back to the top of the lineup with Connor Davis after this at bat. So 0-1 is the count here to Grayson Stone. Armstead's got good speed at second. Going to show a bunt, pops it up and back and out of play. Good pitch in that situation. It was up high for a ball, but got him to foul it back for a strike, and now it's 0-2 is the count here on Stone. So Copen, for the first time in a while, finds himself ahead in the count here. Shakes off that pitch now, gets set to deliver. Fastball high and outside. Not a bad spot to miss. Couldn't get him to chase one that time, and Stone did a good job keeping a solid eye on the ball there. I like the pitch. He's going low, low, and when he does find the zone, he's been up a little bit, but that time put it out of the zone that even if he did get a piece of it, would have been fouled off. So 1-2 now is the count. This one ripped left side. Left fielder's going to have to hurry and not going to get to it. It's going to drop it. It's also going to get by him. Runner's going to score here, and that's going to go for a hit. And Tupelo gets on the board. Take a look at that one on the replay here. It's going to be an RBI single as the other runners had to check up thinking there's a possibility of the ball being caught, thought about tagging up, and then once it got away, good call over there by the third base coach, sending Armistead home and got down there in a hurry, and now Tupelo leads it 1-0. Runners on first and second, and I don't know who just brought the food in, but it smells amazing. Hey. No, I'm good, thank you. That was Grayson Stone getting that RBI single to score Will Armistead. And now back to the top of the lineup here in Connor Davis. Davis singled and stole a base in his first at bat. Would love to see him do that again here if you're a 49er fan. Instead, almost gets hit by a pitch, and that goes for a ball. So Davis digs in. You've got Carlock at second, Stone at first. 1-0 Tupelo with the lead. This one hit hard, but it's going to go foul, and that'll go for a strike. Two balls, one strike is the situation here on Connor Davis. 1-0. 49ers with the lead here, bottom of the second. Jammed him. Going to be a tough play here. Shortstop's going to come up, but the third baseman makes the play. Throw over is not in time. Davis showing off some good speed that time. That's going to go for an infield single. Tough play as he got just enough of it, but not enough to hit it hard. Shortstop came in, had an awkward angle at it, so I do agree with the third baseman's calling of the play that time. And so now for the second straight inning, Niners with bases loaded, but this time no outs in the inning. Last time they loaded the bases, they had 2 outs. And this is going to be Scruggs. Scruggs singled, stole a base, but was left stranded back in the first. Swings on the first pitch he sees, pops it up off the end of the bat, and gets out of play. Strike one. So 0-1 now is the count here to Scruggs. Sun continues to set here at Golden Wave Stadium in Tupelo. As that pitch drifts high over the head of the batter, goes for a ball. 1-1 now is the count. Well, Brad Locke was here for the Pontotoc and Troy game. You can, I believe, see his write-up on the Daily Journal's website. Troy picked up a run rule victory in that one. There's a hard hit ball. Third baseman, though, finds it. It's going to come home with it, but not in time. So you see the replay here. Thought about going to first. Probably would have been the better call there. You see the third baseman a little upset with himself afterwards, knowing that the throw was going to be a little late. So now Tupelo takes a 2-0 lead. Bases stay loaded. Still no outs as Scruggs reaches on that one. And now this is Marshall. Marshall looks at that pitch low in the dirt for a ball. Still no action in the bullpen here for the Tuscaloosa Post 34. It's what they go by. I don't know if that's officially their mascot, but as there's a shot right up the middle, center fielder not going to be able to get to it. It's going to drop. 1 run will score. They're going to ask 2 to score, and they will. Tupelo is opening up the floodgates here in the bottom of the second. They put 4 on the board. So that's a 2-run RBI there for, or a 2-run single, I should say, for Marshall, as you're going to see it on the replay here, and that scores Stone and Davis. Scruggs heads over to second, and still no outs here in the inning. Ball in the dirt, gets away, and the runner on second couldn't see it well enough to know if the ball got away, so he had to stop, and then Marshall, who saw it, had to scamper back or find the brakes to get back before getting in that situation there. So no damage done there for Tuscaloosa. 4-0 is your score. As that pitch drifts high. "2-0 now is the count here. This is Zach Gann. Gann, the DH. He is listed as a potential pitcher tonight if needed, as this ball fouled off. Traffic coming, but didn't hit a car. If I consistently did Tupelo high school games, I would have a camera sitting on the edge of the press box that could immediately switch to the traffic cam in case there was a foul ball that hit a car. As that pitch drifts high. One of the nicer high school fields in the state here. You take a look at it. They're 310 down the line, 345 to the gap, 375 dead center. They do have the new LED lights that once the sun does go down, you guys will see how amazing those are. As a big, healthy swing and a miss there for a strike. 3-2 now is the count here to Gann. They also have the alternating blue and yellow lights going up the pole. If you ever get a chance to come out and watch a ball game here, I strongly suggest it. And you can do so tomorrow at 5, as there's a swing and a miss for strike 3. Chased him on an inside pitch. Runners went. And so that's going to be the first out of the inning. It's a strikeout again, and now up is going to be Goddard. Caleb Goddard, who walked and was left stranded back in the first inning. We'll dig in here with 1 out. Runners on second and third. A 4 spot already on the board here for the 49ers. Trying to add to it here in the bottom of the second. Pitch hanging up high. Well, he's a curveball pitcher. He's just not quite pulling the string to get the break to come down sharp as he wants. And you see him kind of trying to overcorrect right now by more of his body motion versus his arm and hand getting on top of it. That pitch missing. So one of those opportunities here. You just got to dig deep, battle through, and find the zone. 2-0 now is the count for Goddard, the third baseman. This pitch popped up. It's going to get out of play for strike 1. And again, missing. I'm not hoping for a hit vehicle. It's just I'm hoping for a hit vehicle. That's how I'll admit it. So 2-1 now is the count. As this pitch check swing popped up, second baseman's going to go back 2, 3, now 4 steps into the outfield and makes the play over his head. They thought about tagging up and going home just to test his arm, see if he got a wild throw that time. Almost did, but a great job by the catcher, Clark, to come up and make the play and keep it in front of him and keep the runner over at third. So now with 2 outs in the inning, this is going to be Gabe Hardwood, the catcher. He flew out to center in his first at-bat of the game. That was to end the first inning, so you'd know he would love to come up with a clutch 2-out hit here. So now 4-0 is the score. Tupelo, 2 outs. Runners at second and third here for the 49ers. That pitch fouled back and off the umpire, and that'll go for a strike. 0-1 is the count. Is that pitch missing high? Nice frame job, just couldn't quite snap it quick enough. 1-1 now is the count here to Hardwood. So waiting the 1-1 offering here. Hardwood fouls this one right back into your living room. 1-2 now is your count. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. 4-0, Tupelo with the lead. Hardwood checks his swing. And the throw down gets away. 1 run will score. Are they going to ask 2 to score? No, they will not. And Hardwood will wisely head over to second, so that will be an error on the play. That allowed a run to score. And that was Scruggs who came around to score. And now it's 5-0 Tupelo. So a tough inning here for Tuscaloosa, and that pitch in the dirt and the check swing is almost would have worked better for Tuscaloosa if the umpire would have called it a ball instead of a strike, or said he didn't go on the swing. But when he did, the ball got away. The catcher, thinking that he didn't check his swing, or thinking he did check his swing, much like I did, didn't get too aggressive after the ball. As that pitch in there for a strike, 0-1 now is the count. So just a tough break there for Tuscaloosa, and a good one for those that are fans of the 49ers. 5-0 now is the score. Hard hit ground ball, routine to the shortstop, picks it up, gloves it, throws it across the way, and that'll do it. 6-3 on the putout, but the damage done here in the second by the Niners. They score 5 runs on 4 hits, 1 error, and 2 left on base. We're going to step away and come back with the top of the third. It'll be the 8-9-1 batters due up, Livingston, Paint, and Glenn for Tuscaloosa. And welcome back, as 6-0, is the score. I had it 5, but it is 6. Big inning there for Tupelo. He's going to give a lot of room to work here for McCoy, as he's dealt well so far. He's struck out 4. 2 of those coming on putouts, 1 on a runner interference and the other on a throwdown, 2-3 on the putout. That pitch missing outside. You know, sometimes that's a issue for pitchers. Once they get that big offensive output in the inning, they tend to come out a little tight, not having that rhythm back where they were in and out like they were early. Check swing. It's going to be a fair ball. First baseman finds it and will step on the bag for the out. Let's go back and look at that one again. That was a nice pitch that froze up the batter, and a heads-up play that time by the first baseman to just get in front of that one, step on the bag for the putout. 3 unassisted for anyone that's scoring at home. I still say that every time, and I don't know that anyone that really does still score games at home. As this pitch jammed him, lifted to the left side. Left fielder's going to go over and squeeze. No, dropped it again. And now they got the runner in a rundown situation here. And shoot, do they get out of it? No! What a great slide there to avoid the tag. And so after all that, it almost turned into a putout, but instead was the second error of the game for Tupelo, and so Pate will reach on the error. Inside pitch fouled off for strike 1. So 0-1 is the count. That pitch back down the middle. 0-2 now goes the count. This is Glenn as we go back to the top of the lineup here. He reached on an error in right field in his first at bat as that pitch missing outside. 1-2 now goes the count. There's a hard hit ball, and it's caught. Line drive by the first baseman. It turns into a double play. What a play right there. Let's look at that one. On the instant replay, and first baseman for Tupelo, Armistead, just showing out on the play there as he gets a 3 unassisted double play to end the inning. No runs, no hits, 1 error, and nobody left on base. We'll head to the bottom half of the third, where to be Carlock, Stone, and Davis due up for the 49ers. And welcome back now as we head to the bottom of the third inning. 5-0 Tupelo. As this is Carlock, who walked and scored a run, due up here. And that pitch drifts high for a ball. 1-0 is the count here to Carlock. Grayson Stone, the number 9 batter. And then we'll go back to the top of the lineup in Connor Davis here in the home half of the third. That's a big swing and a miss there. 1-1 now is the count. Do want to remind you that if you can't make it out to the ballpark, Tupelo will be playing tomorrow at 5. We will have that live stream here tomorrow for sure. Big swing and a miss there. 1-2 now is the count. So Carlock, he's making the most of his opportunity here as he's taking a couple of healthy chops. And couldn't check up on the swing there. The ball gets away, gives up the plate, and that will go for a strikeout. Carlock a little frustrated with himself. Swinging some inside pitches, but I think we're starting to see Copen kind of get in his rhythm here. Maybe that long inning might have just frustrated him enough to get him to dial in a little bit more. So first out of the inning goes as a strikeout, and this is Grayson Stone. Nice curveball in there for a strike. Well, a much more calm demeanor here for Copen. As that pitch, good looking pitch, just a little bit too far outside for the home plate's liking. Looked pretty solid. 1-1 now is the count. Breaking pitch fouled off, and now 1-2 will go the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 1 out here in the bottom of the third inning. Grayson Stone, and then we'll go back to the top of the lineup and Connor Davis. Taking a lot of time there, so Stone calls for time. The home plate umpire gets it, and so we'll redo it here. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Bottom of the third inning here. Niners with a 5-0 lead. And that pitch is missing low. 2-2 now is the count. Two balls and 2 strikes. 1 out, nobody on here for Tupelo. That's a foul ball, and we'll stay at 2-2. Try to find that schedule for tomorrow. Mac texted that to me, so I just got to find Mac's text. That pitch missing for a ball. 3-2 now is the count. So waiting the 3-2 pitch here. Grounder right back to the pitcher. Knocked his glove off his hand. Shortstop comes up. Going to have to get the throw and makes it. Nice play. Take a look at that one on the replay there. Technically a 1-6-3 put out for the second out. So now this will bring us back to the top of the lineup here and Connor Davis. We'll talk about that schedule in the top of the 4th inning. Of course, games going on here and at Northeast Mississippi Community College up in Boonville. That pitch missing for a ball. Connor Davis 2 for 2 on the day with a pair of singles. As there's a ground ball to the shortstop. Going to have to hurry as Davis has got speed to burn, and he's safe. Ran that one out there, and that's what we said, folks. The kid is quicker than Walt Flanagan's dog, and he's got his 3rd hit of the game. He has scored a run and stolen a base, and showing off the Jets there. Now up is going to be Matt Scruggs, who, by the way, also 2 for 2 on the day. He does have an RBI and a run scored. So the top of the lineup has been productive here for the 49ers so far through 2.5 innings of play. There is 2 outs and a runner over at first base. Scruggs, the center fielder, at the plate. Breaking pitch, just missing for a ball. 5-0 Tupelo with the lead. They scored all 5 of those runs in the second inning. We're here in the bottom of the 3rd. Ball in the dirt, blocked up nicely. Runner has to stay at first, and we've already talked about the speed of Connor Davis. If that one gets away, he's at second easily. 2-0 now is the count. See if Tupelo tries to roll the dice. They are playing with house money, leading 5-0 right now. See if they might try to put Davis in scoring position. Instead, there's going to be a soft hit. Center fielder's going to jog over and makes the play for the out. First time this afternoon, or this evening, I should say, Scruggs has been retired. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. We've played 3 here in Tupelo. 5-0 Niners with the lead. Back with more right after this. And welcome back to action, ladies and gentlemen, as we now move to the top of the 4th inning. It'll be the 2-3-4 batters, Clark, Copen, and Aaron, scheduled up. Told you we'll talk about the schedule for tomorrow during this inning, and that's what we're going to do here is that first pitch high for a ball. So the game's going on here in Tupelo. It'll be Troy versus Tuscaloosa. That'll be at noon. Then Pontotoc will take on Mayfield at 2:30. And then Tupelo will take on Mayfield at 5. And then Pontotoc and the North Mississippi Indians will play the 7:30 game. Those are all the games going on here in Tupelo. That is tomorrow. That pitch in there for a strike. 2-1 now is the count. Over at Northeast, it's going to be the 17 and under North Mississippi Indians taking on Huntsville. Troy's 17 and under team taking on Huntsville. That one's going to be at 2:30, the first game at noon. And then Indians A 17 and under will take on Northport. That'll be at 5 p.m. as the count now goes 2-2. And then the 17 and under 49ers will take on Northport. That will be at 7:30. Those games there in Boonville. 2-2 pitch coming. That one missing high for a ball. And then Sunday, you've got the consolation game. The seniors' third place game, or the third place teams in the pool play, will be at 10 as there's a swing and a miss for strike 3. Solid start to the inning there, as that's going to be the 5th strikeout of the game for McCoy. Let's continue to look at those senior championship games. 10 a.m. in Boonville. Then the second place team out of bracket A will play the first place team out of bracket B. That'll be at 12:30. First place A versus first place B winner. That'll be at 3 p.m. And then the semifinal winner of Game 1 versus the semifinal winner of Game 2. That will come your way at 5:30. And then the junior games will be here at 10, 12, and 3 p.m. in Tupelo. So the first pitch fouled off for a strike. 0-1 is the count here for the pitcher, Copen. Lifts this one, and it's going to be trouble if it stays fair, and it will. This is going to go for extra bases. Could go for 3 as it rolls away from the right fielder, and they're going to keep him up at second. Would have been a bang-bang play, but think they might have been able to leg that one into 3. But instead, the first hit of the game for Tuscaloosa goes as a double. And so for the first time today, Tuscaloosa with a runner in scoring position here. And now this will be the first baseman, Aaron, coming to the plate, who struck out swinging to end the first. That pitch missing low for a ball. Well, as we talked about, Tupelo a little shorthanded this weekend with the state games going on. Got some guys playing down there. Time is taken here by the catcher, Harwood, who wants to come out and talk things over with McCoy on how to approach this batter here. Five nothing Tupelo leading this one. We're in the top of the fourth inning. That pitch gets away. Runner now will head over to third base, and Tuscaloosa is starting to get something going for the first time tonight here offensively. McCoy just a little bit too much on that one that time, as tried to squeeze the fastball by him, got it in the dirt and away from the catcher, and the runner advances. 2-0 now is the count. And this one fouled straight back. 2-1 now is the count here on Aaron. Yetman, the third baseman, is on deck here for Tuscaloosa. 2 balls, 1 strike, and 1 out. That is the situation here. Runner at third base. Swung on and missed. Nice high fastball that time. Actually says he got a piece of it, so that will go for a 2-2 count now here against Aaron. Can McCoy find his 6th strikeout of the day? It'll be a bang-up time here to do so. Winning the 2-2 offering. Instead, that pitch low and inside for a ball. Now the count goes full. Runner at third base. There is 1 out in the inning after a strikeout to Clark to start the inning. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Big time strikeout there for the second out of the inning. And now this is going to bring up Yetman, who popped up to the second baseman for the first out of the second inning. Looking to redeem himself here with a runner in scoring position. Tuscaloosa trying to spark a 2-out rally here in the top of the fourth, trailing 5-0. That pitch clips the outside corner for a strike. 0-1 is the count here to the third baseman, Yetman. You've got Copen, who is over at third. He doubled and advanced on a wild pitch. And that pitch missing low and outside. If I'm McCoy, I keep going for that outside corner just to see how much he keeps giving him. He didn't give him enough that time. 1-1 now is the count. 2 outs. Runner at third here for Tuscaloosa. Tupelo leading this one 5-0 here in the top of the fourth inning. Ground ball, hard hit. Second baseman slides in front of it. Loses it for a second, but then finds it and tosses it over for the out. Nice job over there at second base by Alex Marshall. Had to dig that one out of his glove to find it for the third out of the inning. And Tupelo gets out of the inning with no damage done. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. We're going to take a look back at some of the highlights from the game so far here in the exchange of the innings. And welcome back to action. 5-0 Tupelo with the lead here over Tuscaloosa. And for Tupelo, it's going to be the 3-4-5 batters due up, Marshall, Gann, and Goddard. Looks like Copeland's still on the hill here for Tuscaloosa. And he's going to hit the first batter he sees here in the bottom of the fourth, and that's going to be his second hit batter of the game. Not really sure what the home plate umpire came out and said to him or asked him that time. It wasn't anything serious. He kind of just walked out there and maybe just asked him about the baseball because he threw that one back into the dugout. So now Gann, who is 0 for 2 on the day with a strikeout, will dig in with no outs and a runner over at first base. That pitch missing high and outside for a ball. And looks like we are going to have a brief conversation here and maybe a change. Or not really sure what that was. He come out and says something to the home plate umpire, and wasn't much of like a debate or conversation, maybe just wanting to ask him maybe the same question I asked him, what he said to his pitcher. This game does have a 2-hour time limit. Our opening pitch was at 7:19. Ground ball right back up the middle. A little seeing eye single gets through there for the first hit of the evening here for Zach Gann. Runner over to second now is Marshall. Gann at first base, and Caleb Goddard coming to the plate. He's 0 for 1 today with a walk. Well, it's one of those. The baseball just used the pitcher's mound almost as if a ramp like a motorcycle would, and made its way out, jumped over the second base bag, and snuck its way out to the outfield for a base hit there. Breaking pitch hangs up a little high, and Goddard almost didn't get that bat down, did at the last second, and that'll go for ball one. 1-0 is the count here to Caleb, who is playing over at third base. Runners at first and second, still no outs here. We're in the bottom of the fourth inning. Beautiful pitch in there for a strike, and Goddard knew he let that one go there. Not going to get very many more pitches like that to swing at and at bat. So 1-1 now is the count. No outs, runners at first and second. Tupelo with a 5-0 lead. That pitch in the dirt gets away from the catcher, and the runners will advance. Well, I will say this. For Clark, he has been extremely busy today as he's been up and down behind that plate. That was another one there at the heat of the day like this, as the count now goes 2-1. One of those that this late in the ball game, being that busy, and I tell you, it's still muggy out there right now, could be taking its toll on him. Not to mention the drive, or the ride, I should say, from Tupelo to Tuscaloosa, is that pitch missing high for a ball. Catcher is not a position I envy in the game of baseball. 3-1 now is the count. That pitch in there for a strike. Borderline pitch going the way of Copeland that time, and 3-2 now is the count. So 3-2 pitch coming, ripped foul. Mac Holland wanted nothing to do with that baseball. I'm kind of disappointed in you, Coach. Had a chance to make a play there, but opted out of it. And I think he's getting a little earful from the dugout as well. Rightfully so. You got to make a play. Lead by example. 3-2 is the count now. And that pitch drifts high for a ball. Nice patient at bat there by Goddard. Second time today he's reached on a walk, fouled off a pitch, and was able to earn that walk there. Looks like we may have a conversation on the mound here. We're going to have a quick jog out, so we will step away.
Here, you can be your best. The best train here. Learn here. Succeed here. Perform here. Win here. Thrive here. Itawamba Community College. The best start here.
Student involvement is a top priority here at Itawamba Community College.
If you want to be involved with student government, then the Student Government Association is the place for you.
If you have a stellar GPA, then Phi Theta Kappa is for you.
If you're interested in the diverse culture of our campus population, then the Diversity Club is for you.
If you're interested in leadership and service, then Indian Delegation is for you.
If you're majoring in computer programming or computer networking, then CPNA, the Computer Programming Networking Association, is for you.
If you're interested in good conversations and free lunch on Thursdays, then the Wesley Foundation is for you.
Our health science programs also have specific organizations for those majors.
Student Activities is excited to bring you new opportunities here at the ICC Tupelo campus.
Whatever your passion may be, we have a place for you.
This video is brought to you by Phi Theta Kappa, Beta Chi Sigma, Tupelo campus.
You live life on your own terms. You won't be told what you can't do. And we're here to back you. From the boardroom to the big stage, Renaissance Bank supports women striving for success. Because greatness isn't held to anyone's expectations, except yours. So if anyone says you can't, prove them wrong. Rise with Renaissance, supporting women in the communities they influence every day.
And welcome back to action. As we did have a pitching change there. Don't have the roster for Tuscaloosa, but number 18 coming in to pitch here for post 34. And he'll be greeted by Gabe Harwood. And Gabe digs in with a golden opportunity here. Bases loaded with no outs. Lifts this one high into the night, but it's going to go foul. Just a little bit ahead of that one there. Beautiful sunset off in left center here in Tupelo. Nearly sent one into that sunset there, and that would have been a big one. Bases loaded, no outs here for the 49ers. A little sidearm action here. It swung on and missed for strike two. 0-2 now is the count. So we're awaiting that 0-2 offering. That one just low and inside. Not a bad spot. Went outside, then coming back in to see if he couldn't get him to kind of chase a pitch on the inside. Didn't do so, so now the count goes 1-2. No outs, bases full of 49ers. Tupelo already leading this one, 5-0. And there's a beautiful breaking pitch in there for a strike. Great job, got Harwood looking for the first out of the inning, and now this will bring up Will Armistead. Armistead, the first baseman. He has been hit by a pitch and then grounded out to the shortstop to end the second. So looking for his first hit of the evening here. Sidearm toss once again. That one missing low and outside. So for the 49ers, you got to adjust quickly. You had a tall Copen that was pitching, and he was coming over the top with a big looping breaking ball when he get on the top of it. Now you're going with a much shorter statured pitcher here that's coming almost hip high on the delivery. It's one of those hip high to shoulder high sidearm tosses. So that release point is going to vary, and it's going to be a quick change there. That pitch fouled off. 1-1 now is the count. Bases loaded with one out here in the bottom of the fourth. Tupelo with a 5-0 lead. That pitch in the dirt gets away. Runner's going to try to score from third, and he will. Well, a nice job that time by Tupelo taking advantage of the situation, scoring on the pass ball to take a 6-0 lead now. And we talked about the catcher and how busy he's been behind the plate. Well, the coach for Tuscaloosa came out and gave him a bottle of water that he pretty much downed in about two gulps there. As that pitch inside gets away again, runners will not try to advance, as the other two runners did advance into scoring position. So Clark, as I said, a hot, muggy night here in Lee County, earning his keep behind the plate for sure. 3-1 now is the count here to Armistead. First base is open. Runners at second and third with one out here. That pitch just missing outside for a ball. And so a walk issued to Armistead. And now this will bring up Bowen Carlock, the left fielder. Carlock is 0 for 1 of the day with a strikeout. He has walked and scored a run. Bases loaded here. Niners would like to get the merry-go-round spinning like they did in the second. See if they can have a short night at the ballpark. And that's going to be a hit batter. And the run will score again. So now Tupelo takes a 7-0 lead here over Tuscaloosa. As that is Gann who trotted home to score. And the bases remain loaded now, as this is going to be the number 9 batter, Grayson Stone. Stone had an RBI single, scored a run in his first at bat, grounded out 6-3 after the ball was deflected off the glove. Actually knocked the glove off the hand of the pitcher, but was retired 6-3 on the putout. Bases loaded, one out here. And again, another hit batter, back-to-back hit batters. And that will close the book on Copen, as that run belongs to him. And now Tupelo takes an 8-0 lead, bases loaded. So Copen gives up 8 runs on 7 hits and 1 error on the evening, and he is in line, or excuse me, 6 hits, as he's in line for the loss. Fastball hit to the second baseman. Taylor made double play here. There's one. Can they get 2? Yes, they do. Good job there helping out their pitcher who was struggling a little bit. Score that one 6-3 on the double play. But Tupelo does score 3 runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on the base. Back with more right after this. And welcome back, 8-0 Tupelo with the lead. Jackson McCoy staying on the hill here for the 49ers. It'll be Napier, Glasgow, and Livingston scheduled up here for Tuscaloosa. That pitch goes high for a ball. Well, Tupelo gets 5 in the second, 3 and the fourth, and they lead it 8-0. First game of pool play here for the 49ers in the King City Classic. They'll be back in action tomorrow at 5 o'clock. If you can't make it out to the ballpark, we'll be right back here on YouTube for that one. This pitch popped up, could stay in play. First baseman going to give chase. Can't find it. Second baseman just couldn't catch up with it as the ball knifed away from him there as it came a little bit closer to him. So nothing but an exciting strike there on Napier. Again, don't know if you can paint a better picture than you're looking at right now with that sunset in the background. As we talked about, the LED lights here just making it look like it's daytime when you're at the ballpark. 1-1 now is the count here to Napier. Time is taken, and have a quick meeting at the mound here with McCoy. Umpire's going to start to come out and kind of talk to him for a second. And I think it's one of those things, you see it all the time in baseball. The catcher and the pitcher talking, or a coach talking, and they're like, hey, let me know when the umpire's halfway here, and we'll break up so we don't have to come all the way out, or at least make him walk halfway. So 1-1 is the count. Couldn't find the fastball. Strike it is. 1-2 now. Goes the count here on Napier. He was called out after runner interference after striking out, and the ball had gotten away. Questionable runner interference call. And that one, could have been strike 3, and I think Napier thought it was, but missing a little low there. 2-2 now is the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes, no outs as Napier is leading us off here in the top of the 5th inning. And got him looking at strike 3. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's what you call a makeup call there, as that one missing low and outside after that last pitch was a borderline call, not going the way of McCoy, and the umpire writing what he thought was a wrong on that previous pitch. That's in my opinion, of course. As now Glasgow will come to the plate. He struck out, was retired 2-3 in his previous at-bat. Swings wildly at a fastball, couldn't connect on it. 0-1 now is the count. No balls, 1 strike, and 1 out. That is the situation. Nobody on here for Tuscaloosa. Ball in the dirt, gets away. As we said, nobody on, so no damage done there. As McCoy saying, hey, that one's on me. That's true family right there. Mac's nephew coming up here asking how Mac's teams, are they playing yet? And they're playing, and they're winning. So he liked that update. 6-3 on the put out there. He seemed happy with the update anyway. So now with 2 outs in the inning, I believe this is going to be Livingston coming to the plate here for Tuscaloosa. So Livingston, who was retired, 3 unassisted, and his previous at-bat, stands in, takes that first pitch for a ball. That pitch paints the corner for a strike. 1-1 now is the count. We'll take a look at the replays for throughout the game like we did in the previous few innings ago in the exchange of innings here. Is that pitch missing high and inside for a ball. 2-1 now is the count. Well, thank everyone for joining us here on YouTube, watching a little 49er baseball. A proud program here for many years in Tupelo. As this pitch fouled off, evens up the count now at 2-2. Day 1 of pool play here in the King City Classic. If you want to come watch the 49ers tomorrow, they'll be playing at 5 o'clock. So be sure and make your plans to join us. If you can't, we'll be right back here as there's strike 3. And Livingston knew it. He just dropped his head and waited on the call, and a 3-up, 3-down inning there. No runs, no hits, no errors. Tupelo leads it 8-0. Let's take a look at those replays from earlier in the game. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we shift now here to the bottom of the 5th inning. 8-0, Tupelo with the lead. 2-3-4 batters due up here. Scruggs, Marshall, and Gann for the Niners. Swings on the first pitch he sees, pops this one up. Center fielder jogs over and makes the play for the putout. Back-to-back innings, or I should say back-to-back at-bats now, is Scruggs retired by the center fielder. He's 2 for 4 on the day. Now up is going to be Alex Marshall. He is 1 for 2. He's been hit by a pitch, scored a run. He does have 2 RBIs on a single. That was back in the 5-run second inning. 1 out, nobody on. And Marshall leaves, no doubt on that swing, just couldn't find the baseball. And that'll go for a strike. 0-1 is the count. So 0-1 is the count here. As we said, a new pitcher in the game as this pitch is fouled off. 0-2 is the count. New pitcher in the game, he's wearing number 18. We don't have their roster, so we do apologize for not being able to call his name. 0-2 is the count here, so Marshall's going to have to guard the dish here. Tuscaloosa looking for a quick 3-up, 3-down inning. They haven't got one of those all day today. As that pitch missing low and outside for a ball. 1-2 now is the count. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 1 out. And beautiful pitch there. A little of a slider coming in for a strikeout. And second out of the inning now. And this is going to bring up Zach Gann. Gann singled, scored a run, and his previous at-bat has struck out and flew out to center field. So trying to spark a 2-out rally here. As Gann, the DH, he is listed as a possible pitcher here, but McCoy has dealt pretty well so far in the game and has gotten the bats behind him to help him on there as well. That pitch just a little bit outside. Not really anybody on base to worry about there, so good job by the catcher Clark to kind of just conserve his energy. So you're starting to see him trying to stretch a little bit more in between innings. This hot, humid night here in Tupelo. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 2 outs. This pitch popped up, out of play, and 1-2 now goes to count. 1 for 3 is Zach Gann this afternoon. As we said, he singled and scored a run in the previous inning. That was a 3-run fourth. So waiting the 1-2 pitch here, Tuscaloosa trying to get their first 3-up, 3-down inning of the contest. That pitch goes high for a ball. 2-2 now is the count. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. That is the situation here. And fouls that one off to keep the at-bat alive. Good job finding a piece of that one. Umpire coming out, make sure he's okay as he kind of fouled the ball off the inside part of his foot. Gann says, I'm good. He says, okay, let's play ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Nobody on here for the 49ers. And jammed him, fouled it off. And good job finding a piece of that one that time by Gann just to keep the at-bat alive. And looks like there might have been a little confusion on that pitch there as the catcher wanting to go out and talk to his pitcher here in between innings and maybe just buy a little bit of time here for the umpire as well, as it did come off his chest protector. I think the umpire said he was good as the coach asked for a couple of balls to walk out as well, just give him an opportunity to kind of just shake it off for a second. So the count stays at 2-2, 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. So waiting the pitch here and shakes off a couple of them, now set to deliver. A little off-speed pitch. Gann was confused, but was able to battle that one and find a piece of it. So nice at-bat going here for Gann. He's fouled off some pitches to keep this at-bat alive after falling behind in the count, 1-2, and now it's at 2-2. So trying to just keep this at-bat alive, see if he can spark a 2-out rally. If he were to find his way on, then it'd be Goddard, who's 0 for 1 today with a pair of walks on deck for Tupelo. 2-2 pitch coming. Hard hit, and it's going to get through. Nice at-bat there by Gann. Take a look at that hit there. His second hit of the game for Zach Gann. As we said, stuck with it. Fouled off 3 or 4 pitches and eventually won that battle. And now this is going to bring up Caleb Goddard. Goddard, the third baseman, as we said, 0 for 1 today. Walked in the first, popped up to second in the second, walked and scored a run in the fourth. That pitch missing for a ball. 1-0 is the count. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs. Runner over at first base is Zach Gann, who just came up with his second hit of the evening. That pitch missing low and outside for a ball. 2-0 now is the count. Well, we're starting to creep up on that 2-hour mark, as they are playing with time limits in pool play. 2-0 is the count. The first pitch came at 7:19. They did have a start time trying to aim for a 7:15 start. There's a pitch just missing low for a ball. 2-1 now is the count here to Goddard. Goddard's been very patient at the plate tonight. As we said, he has drawn a couple of walks and scored a run. He did pop up to second. It is only official at bat today. And that pitch inside nearly hits him. 3-0 now goes the count. Or actually, they're going to say head down to first. So I don't know if it did hit him, or maybe they know that was ball 4. And so now Harwood, who is the catcher, so having to take off some of his gear there, coming up to the plate. Well, Harwood, he put a charge into one the first time he saw the new pitcher in the game, but hit it foul. Well, if he was able to keep that same type of hit and straighten it out this time, it'll be ball game here in the bottom of the 5th. That pitch gets away in the dirt. Runners are going to try to advance, and they will. So a heads-up play there by Gann. Didn't get the jump he wanted, but found an extra gear heading over to third, was able to slide in safely while Goddard jogged to second. So now both runners in scoring position here for Harwood. Harwood is 0 for 3 on the day, did reach on an error. Struck out looking in his previous at-bat, has flown out to center field. That was to end the first. That pitch in there for a strike inside corner. 1-1 now is the count. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Runners on second and third. 2-out baseball. That's what separates good teams or I should say average teams. Good teams from average teams. That's what I was trying to say. I couldn't quite find that sentence. Ground ball, foul ball. 1-2 now is the count. But yeah, see it all the time at ICC and other places as well, but I call more ICC baseball games than anything else. And if you can just get hot, find somebody that can spark a 2-out hit. Hitting is contagious, as they say in baseball, but 2-out hitting, especially with runners in scoring position, that's what makes or breaks you a lot of times in a baseball game. 1-2 pitch coming. Chases a wild one, ball gets away. Should be an easy toss down to first, and it is for the out. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left on base. We're going to step away and come back with the top of the 6th inning. Tupelo leads it 8-0. And welcome back. Now as we move to the top of the 6th inning, 8-0 Tupelo with the lead. 9-1-2 batters scheduled up here for Tuscaloosa. Pate, Glenn, and Clark all scheduled up here for post 34. McCoy staying on the hill here for the Niners. Still throwing pretty strong deep into the game. Hasn't had really a long inning. He's had a couple of errors behind him tonight defensively that didn't do any damage. Gave up a double to Copen as this one popped down the line and foul. He's got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 strikeouts tonight, so impressive outing here for Jackson McCoy, and you know he would love to go the distance and save some of those arms for the rest of the weekend here. As that pitch goes high for a ball. 2-1 now is the count. We talked about saving those arms. That's going to be important for Tupelo here as they're missing some guys that are playing down in the state games. As this pitch foul back off the netting, 2-2 now is the count. They'll play Mayfield tomorrow at 5 o'clock here in Tupelo, and then all the Senior Legion games will shift to Boonville on Sunday. We'll be here for sure tomorrow at 5 o'clock with the broadcast if you can't make it out to the game. Hard hit ball, right side of the field. Second baseman going over, putting his hands up and calls it, bobbles it around a little bit and makes the play in fair territory for out number 1. A ball that probably should have went to the right fielder, but Alex Marshall showing off a whole lot of speed there, gets over and makes the play about a step and a half away from foul territory. Bobbled it for a second, was able to reel it in for out number 1. And now we'll go back to the top of the lineup, and this is right fielder Glenn coming to the plate. He's 0 for 2 on the day, did reach on an error as this pitch is fouled back for strike 1. So 0-1 is the count. And this one fouled off as well. 0-2 now is the count. That one fouled back and hit the catcher, and the home plate umpire is going to do his due diligence to walk out and walk the ball back to the pitcher here to give Harwood a chance to kind of collect himself behind home plate. And the Tuscaloosa batter doing the right thing, going over to talk to his coach as well to buy Harwood a little extra time. So tip of the cap there on some sportsmanship. You see the coach and the batter kind of look at Harwood, and he give him a nod, said he's good. So they walk back, and we reset. 0-2 is the count. Breaking pitch, grounder. Tough play here. Pitcher's going to come up and will actually run it over and make the play himself. The reason why I said a tough play was it was right there in no man's land, and Glenn didn't really get a good jump out of the box. And that made the play a whole lot easier than it probably should have been, as good job by McCoy defending his position that time, able to come up, call off the first baseman, sprint over to first for the second out of the inning. So now with 2 away, this is going to be Clark coming to the plate. And that's going to be a tough play again. McCoy barehands it, throws it over, and not in time. Impressive that was close as he barehanded it, zipping it across the way, but good speed and effort down the line that time by Clark. Goes for the second hit of the game here for Tuscaloosa. So a runner on. And now this is going to be Copen coming to the plate. Copen got to start and struggled early with his breaking pitches, settled down about halfway through, and then just ran out of gas. So a valiant effort on his part. There's a hard hit ball, shortstop, jams a little bit, steps in front of it, steps on the bag, and that'll do it. 6-4 on the put out there, and we'll see if they decide to play on here as we're approaching that 2-hour time limit. Tupelo is leading at 8-0. And looks like they're going to say play on. So we'll step away and be back with more right after this.
Here, you can be your best. The best train here. Learn here. Succeed here. Perform here. Win here. Thrive here. Itawamba Community College. The best start here.
Ever since you got that license, you haven't stopped moving forward. Now that you're older and on the move, you need a safer place to keep your money. We get it. A student checking account frees you up with things like mobile check deposit to take care of that check from grandma without having to stop at a bank. Pay with your phone when you're out with friends. And stop worrying about ATM fees. We'll pay you back for those. Worry about your future, not your money. And know that we'll stick with you wherever you go. Renaissance Bank, understanding you. Member FDIC.
Everyone has a unique story to tell. Maybe your story has you performing your new song in front of a crowd, getting to play your favorite sport, or enjoying a horseback ride in the country. At Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, our group of skilled surgeons understand your need to continue your story. That is why we are the preferred choice for orthopedic care. Thank you for choosing us. Our story is you. Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi.
And welcome back as we move to the bottom of the 6th inning. Tupelo leading this one 8-0. Armistead, Carlock, and Stone scheduled up here. As that pitch missing outside for a ball. "1-0 is the count here to Armistead. He is 0 for 1 today, has been hit by a pitch and was hit by a pitch again. So he started the inning off in the second by being hit by a pitch. Tupelo scored 5 in that inning. And he grounded out to the shortstop to end the second and walked in his previous at-bat. So just to give you the rundown of what he did tonight after being hit by the pitch there. This is going to be Bowen Carlock now. Carlock 0 for 1 today. He's been hit by a pitch. He's walked and scored a run. He's also struck out swinging. Sidearm breaking pitch, missing low for a ball. Again, remind you, Tupelo playing tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Well, scheduled to play tomorrow at 5 o'clock against Mayfield. If you can't make it out to the ballpark, well, we'll have the broadcast right back here on YouTube. So we do appreciate those that tune in. So 0-1 is the count. And that pitch gets away, and the runner will advance to second. One of those that stuck to his hand a little bit too much, and he's going to try to wipe his hand off there. That one got away from him. 2-0 now is the count. 2 balls, no strikes, and no outs. Tupelo leading this one 8-0. And that pitch tails back into the batter, swung on and missed for a strike. 2-1 is the situation now here to Carlock, who is playing in left field. So winning the 2-1 offering here, Tuscaloosa trailing this one 8-0. That pitch fouled off. 2-2 now is the count. So awaiting the 2-2 offering here. As we said, a new pitcher in the game is number 18. Don't have their roster to be able to tell you who that is. He's been pretty good at times, but at times he does get a little wild. He's hit 3 batters, has walked 2 more. Led off the inning with a hit batter to Armistead, who's now at second. Ball missing low. 3-2 now is the count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and no outs. That is the situation here. Runner at second. Armistead, as we mentioned, was hit by a pitch to start the inning. So waiting the payoff pitch here to Bowen Carlock. Carlock jammed on that one, pops it up. Second baseman kind of lollygagged for a second, had to find a gear and then catch it as it carried a little bit more than he thought, and that'll be an out. So pop up to second for the first out of the inning, and now this is going to be Grayson Stone. Stone 1 for 2 on the day. He had an RBI single back in the 5-run second. Grounded out to the shortstop. It was also hit by a pitch in his previous at-bat. 1 out and runner on second. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning here. Tupelo leading this one 8-0. Breaking pitch. Oh, looked good, just a little low. That's what the catcher, Clark, turned around, looked at him, and umpire confirmed that it was low. Hats off to Clark tonight for Tuscaloosa. He has been very active behind the plate and having to get after some wild pitches, some high pitches, and has battled his way through that pitch. Nice adjustment that time to come in there for a strike. 1-1 now is the count. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Runner at second. Bottom of the 6th inning here. And got him swinging for strike 2. 1-2 now is the count to Grayson Stone. Grayson playing in right field. Choke up a little bit here and protect the plate with a 1-2 count. Fouls that one off to keep the at-bat alive here. Nice job finding a piece of it. And see what number 18 is doing a good job. He's working inside out well. That time's come back-to-back pitches inside. And Stone, though, able to find a piece of it to keep the at-bat alive. So waiting the 1-2 offering here. 1 out, runner at second. This pitch fouled off over the netting. And it'll get back and out of play, and Stone lives to see another day here. Count will stay at 1-2. Tupelo leads this one 8-0. First game for the 49ers here in pool play of the King City Classic here at Tupelo High School baseball field. As we said, a beautiful field here. Going to be hard to find a better baseball field in the area, in the state. You know, there's some nice fields out there, some of them that are fully artificial turf, but this is a natural turf field except for the halo around the batter's box. There's a shot. If it stays fair, it's trouble, but it hooks foul. So 2-2 now is the count as Stone continues to battle here, trying to find a way to win the battle. Quickly approaching double-digit pitches in this at-bat here. Armistead taking a pretty healthy lead over there at second. That pitch gets away, and he'll head over to first. Well, it's one of those pitches that was outside, and Clark 3 innings ago would have had it without an issue. But this late in the night and this long of a day for Clark, that one, I'll tell you, folks, you just got to tip your hat to that young man. He has battled all day today. 3-2 now is the count here on Grayson Stone. If Grayson finds a way on here, this is a great at-bat for Stone. So waiting the payoff pitch, hits that one, and it's a foul ball. Hey, finally, Coach Holland decides to field a ball that time. Came up. Wasn't the best of plays, but it was a play. So waiting the 3-2 pitch. Once again here to Stone. And walks him. Great at bat there by Grayson Stone. Found a way to keep the at-bat alive. Battled, and eventually found his way on base with the walk. I know a lot of people say, well, Gordon's not a hit. But it's one of those, he got about 12 to 13 pitches into that at-bat. Kept fouling off 4 or 5 of those after falling behind in the count. 1-2, battled back to force the count to go full and then earned a walk. So very, very good at-bat there. Connor Davis now back at the plate. He's 3 for 4 on the night. He's got 3 singles. Hit into a double play to end the 4th in his previous at-bat. Davis, if I swung that hard, my back would be hurting for the next 3 weeks. 0-1 now is the count. He was thinking about parking one there. Just couldn't quite catch up with one on the outside corner. Runners on the corners here for the Niners. They lead it 8-0. 0-1 is the count to Davis. Runner goes. Ball in the dirt. 1-1 now is the count. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Runners now in scoring position here for Davis. Well, if he can get something down to the gap, that should be ball game. So you've got Armistead at third. Stone is at second. That pitch inside nearly hits him. Goes for a ball. 2-1 now is the count. As I said, it's been a very, I don't want to say strange, but kind of a unique, I guess, maybe, day at the ballpark. Not a lot of interaction out of the fans. Of course, now it is hot and muggy, so I wouldn't be extending anything on energy more than fanning myself if I was outside right now. 2-1 is the count here to Davis. That pitch missing low and inside for a ball. 3-1 now goes the count. Davis, he would like to find his fourth hit of the day, but if he can get on here with a walk, he'll take it as well. So waiting the 3-1 offering here from Tuscaloosa. Davis looks at that pitch high and outside, and he does draw the walk. Back-to-back walks now from post 34, and they're going to come out and talk to the pitcher in this situation. Bases are loaded with one out, and this is going to be Matt Scruggs coming to the plate. Scruggs has a pair of hits today. He does have an RBI and a run scored. He's flown out to center field in his previous 2 at-bats, and a chance to close the door on this one here if Tupelo can find 2 more runs. I believe this is going to be the last inning of the game as we have eclipsed that 2-hour mark here on the time frame. Apparently it's not a drop-dead time limit. As they're talking things over here, the home plate umpire is going to come up and break this one up. And as usual, well, no, the catcher stayed up there this time. Let it give up almost to the mound. And so now this will be Mac Scruggs at the plate. Scruggs 2 for 4 on the day with a pair of singles. Has scored a run and driven in another. Good day at the ballpark if you're a 49er fan, as they lead this one 8-0. Hit right up the middle, and that could do it. 1 run will score. They're going to ask the second to score. The throw in from center field is going to be not in time. Game Niners. As let's take a look at that final at bat there as Tupelo wins it with a 2-run single off the bat of Scruggs, his 3rd hit of the game. Tupelo wins this one 10-0 here in 6th inning in the first game of pool play in the King City Classic. Well, that's going to do it for tonight's broadcast. We appreciate everyone tuning in. Tupelo wins 10-0. They'll be back in action tomorrow against Mayfield. That'll be at 5 o'clock right back here in Tupelo. And we'll be here with that broadcast, so we'll see you then.